Alright, so for this week we are doing our warm-up video. So I'm going to be doing a warm-up for a soccer midfielder. A midfielder covers a lot of ground, we're going to focus a little bit on endurance and hitting those muscle groups that are important for a midfielder. So why we do a warm-up is to increase our body temperature, increase our heart rate, and to increase the viscosity of our muscles to kind of improve that range of motion and ultimately performance in our activity. So it's divided into two components, a general and a specific. So the first portion that I'm going to do is going to be the general warm-up. So I will let you know that I am fighting a case of shin splints right now, so if things look a little funny or if I stop before I probably should, it's because of my shin splints. So for the general warm-up, what we'd have them do is we would have them jogging for 5 minutes, so be around the soccer field. So then that just kind of gets the heart rate up. Next we would do side shuffling down each sideline. And this warms up the hip muscles, since soccer is not just straightforward, it's moving side to side as well. The next thing we would have them do is we would have them skip forward with doing arm circles, and you might wonder why we're doing arm stuff for a soccer player. Midfielders often have to do throw-ins, so we want to make sure that those chest, shoulder, and upper arm muscles are warmed up for those exercises. So they would come forward to midfield like so, and then once they get midfield, they would skip backwards and do arm circles backwards. And then at the very end, or for the last portion of the general warm-up, they would do 2 laps around the soccer field, dribbling the soccer ball. So they get a little more sport-specific movement in with their general warm-up. So next we would move to the specific warm-up. So the first thing we would do, I have this here because I have horrible balance. So we would have them do leg swings each side. This is to get the upper hamstrings and the glutes firing. Also those hip flexors. And they would do those for about 30 seconds or so on each leg, and then we would have them do the walking leg swing through. So this, take a few steps, kick, some people call them high kicks, however you want to call it, that's what they would do next. That also works the upper hamstrings and hip flexors to get that moving. The next thing we would have them do is high knees out to midfield. So they're going to be doing their high knees out to midfield, and then on the way back from midfield, they'd be doing their butt kickers. So that's just to really warm up the knee joint, the hamstrings and the quadriceps. So next thing is really that I found through my research, really sport specific, that I really like. It's called side kicks. So for the dynamic warm-up, to kind of improve that range of motion and really be sport specific in the movement, they would do a couple steps, bring that leg over, a couple steps, bring that leg over. And as you can see, that movement is exactly the type of movement that they make when they are making passes and kicking and whatnot. So that's something I found that is really sport specific that I really like for the dynamic portion. And then the next portion, or the next activity, is open knee. So this is really going to work on those outer hip muscles and the groin, stretching that out. So out to midfield is what they would do for the open knees. And for the last exercise, to really get the whole lower body working as one unit as it needs to do for soccer, they would do lunge with a twist. This is also going to warm up their core, you know, because again, not everything in soccer is straight ahead. So they will turn and whatnot, so we really need to warm up those obliques. So lunge with a twist. As you can see, my balance is awful. Lunge with a twist. So they would do that out to midfield as well. So that's my warm-up for a soccer midfielder. Hope you guys have a great week. Thanks.